Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana has moved down too low for the previously considered triangle pattern. We talked about two scenarios in the last updates. One would be a triangle pattern that allowed for a direct breakout. However, it ideally would have held the $134 level, and the invalidation point is the red line. So the triangle has to be dismissed because we broke below the invalidation point of an Elliott wave triangle. So I still see the move down as a wave 4 at the moment, however. Why is that the case? Because the initial move down from the March high was a 3-wave move. So yes, more bearish scenarios are possible, which is why I've always highlighted this B wave top here as a potential. However, the move down is in 3 waves. So without further evidence, I would not really give this primary consideration. Either way, the trend is down short term, okay? And the microstructure will tell us more about which level needs to break in order to, get a first signal that a low is in place of sorts. But for now, the trend is still down. And we've broken below a key pivot, which would have allowed for the triangle interpretation. Now the triangle, again, is invalidated, but I still see it as a wave 4, as ABC flat correction, in which we have seen an A wave down, then an ABC in wave B, and a C wave down. So this is what we're tracking right now. Ideally, the C wave would hold the white box. Ideally, it wouldn't even break below $87.96. But I have to say, in times like these, when the market is highly volatile, sometimes we see markets go to the extremes in their individual waves and structures. So it is possible that the C wave extends further. So we're tracking the microstructure to understand the relevant micro resistance levels and to understand when a low could have formed. For now, the trend is still down. And the more bearish scenario would be here in red. Wave 1 to the downside, where this is not red, I will change it in a minute. If I see 5 waves down, right? So something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The third wave should get to at least $88. And then we should see a wave 4 and a wave 5. But, well, this would be an initial 5-wave move down that breaks below support. But then we're already at $50. So the thing is, I think it's worth to understand we're in a downtrend. We have been in a downtrend locally from the July high. And we just need to watch the microstructure to get a first understanding of when the trend is changing. Okay. Now, it is clear that the market is highly volatile and that the market is highly oversold as well. So 1 second, the RSI, highly oversold. Solana hasn't been that much in an oversold region since June 23, which is when many said Sol will die, okay? And at the time here, I was also not sure what's going on with Solana, right? But then we saw the first 1-2 setup, but still, it was down here, where sentiment was super bearish. Now we're now much higher with the price. Sentiment is similar, I'd say. Okay, people don't say Solana will die, but, the markets have, I don't know, don't find the right word, but what markets have just sort of, it's in chaos, you could say. So what we need to do is just to focus on the levels, and at the moment the trend is down, but let's switch to the shorter time frame. It shows that technically speaking, the market just might just need another 4-5 pattern to the downside. So that doesn't mean that if we get 5 waves down, in wave C, the market will turn around. It always requires a break above resistance. So again, it's the same routine. We're watching for 5 waves up, 3 waves down. That gives us a setup. It gives us support levels that keep us safe. And these support levels are there to keep us safe. And if you don't use the support levels and to keep your position safe, well, then you need to have another strategy. I mean, you don't need to use these levels here that I provide, but all I'm saying is at the moment, the local trend is down. This is the resistance area between 124.45 and 142.66. We'll try to update this several times today on Discord for our gold members, but the day unfortunately only has 24 hours. So I give updates as much as possible, but this will change if the third wave to the downside here extends. So idea is a B wave top tier, right? I just showed you that on the daily chart. And the C wave to the downside would normally be a 5-wave move. So 1, 2, 3. The third wave can still extend a bit. In that case, the resistance area will change a bit. And then as long as we don't see a break above 142.66, I'd watch for at least one more low, because again, downside extensions are possible as long as we don't have a signal that a low is in place. So when do we get a signal that a low is in place? Well, with a break above resistance, but ideally that break is in a 5-wave move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's sort of what we are watching for. But again, there is nothing like that at the moment. Nothing. So we don't even have a strong buy reaction despite the market being so oversold. But we have reached the next, so let's say support levels here around $109. This is the 23.6 fib level. Showed you that on the daily chart. It's the support box we've been observing and watching for many months. Now, in a triangle, the price would have never got there, but in a larger wave 4, yes. And the wave 4 has a lot of space still, yeah. And the C wave to the downside should ideally respect these white levels. Here, $109, 95, 88, and 76. So again, situation very dynamic. The downtrend is very steep. The wave 4 should stay below 142.66. If it doesn't, it's likely not a wave 4, and it requires a reinterpretation of the microstructure. And if the rally is in 5 waves, then the low might have been in. So that's sort of how I track the chart right now. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.